Welcome back. Today, we're counting down the top 11 most valuable Washington $quarter coins that could be hiding in your collection. Stick around to find out which wheat pennies could make you a fortune. First up, the 1982 Washington $quarter is an iconic coin in American numismatics, renowned for both its beauty and unique characteristics. While most coins from the 1980s are not typically seen as valuable, certain editions, such as the 1982 Washington quarter with an error mint mark, have garnered attention and interest from collectors and investors. In the 1982 series, the coin is notable for its large date, a distinct feature that sets it apart from its smaller date counterparts. But what really makes this particular coin stand out is its error, the D mint mark error. This error coin was struck with a mint mark that is incorrectly positioned or perhaps overly pronounced, making it a significant piece in the coin collecting world. Additionally, the coin has a distinctive black color due to oxidation, and its dirty condition only adds to its unique nature, making it more collectible in certain circles. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Since then, it has been a staple of American coinage. The 1982 Washington quarter was part of a regular series, but due to the error mint mark, it became a unique piece in the world of coin collecting. The Washington quarter remains in circulation, but it's the specific error varieties like the 1982 D mint mark error that truly excite collectors. The mint mark, located on the reverse of the coin, is an essential part of identifying its authenticity, and an error in this regard can make the coin significantly more valuable. The design of the Washington quarter is timeless, showcasing a profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States, on the obverse. On the reverse, the coin features an eagle, which was a symbolic choice to represent strength, courage, and the United States' freedom. For the 1982 series, the coin features the traditional large date, which is noticeably larger than those seen on coins from other years. This makes the 1982 Washington quarter easy to identify for those familiar with its history. The coin also bears a mint mark D for the Denver Mint that becomes a distinguishing factor when discussing the error varieties. The mintage of the 1982 Washington quarter was relatively standard, but the error coin with the misplaced or oversized mint mark is exceptionally rare. While millions of these quarters were produced, only a small number with this specific error were circulated, which explains why they are highly prized by collectors. As far as market value goes, the 1982 Washington quarter with AD mint mark error is a sought-after coin. While its value varies greatly depending on its condition and the severity of the error, coins in poor to moderate condition typically sell for anywhere between $39,000 in today's auction market. If the coin is in cleaner condition or exhibits an especially noticeable error, collectors might be willing to pay upwards of $55,000. The black discoloration adds an element of uniqueness, further boosting interest in the coin. However, dirty coins like this one are usually valued less than their pristine counterparts unless they have exceptional errors. Collectors are particularly attracted to error coins because of their rarity and the story behind their production. The D mint mark error on the 1982 Washington quarter attracts collectors who are specifically interested in misprints, making it an important piece for any serious collector's portfolio. Next up, we have the 1983 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and P mint mark, which was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While this coin is not as famous as the 1982 D error coin, it still holds a certain appeal, particularly because of its historical context, its condition, and the year it was minted. The 1983 Washington quarter is notable for its large date design, which creates a significant distinction between this series and other earlier coinage from the same era. As with many coins, the condition plays a huge role in determining value. The 1983 Washington quarter in dirty condition may not appear pristine to the average collector, but the coin still holds interest due to its potential rarity and collector value. Over the years, many of these quarters have been in circulation, and the dirty condition of this particular coin adds an element of character that some collectors find intriguing. The 1983 Washington quarter continues the legacy of the Washington quarter series, which began in 1932. The coin is part of a wider group of quarters minted during the early 1980s, a time when the U.S. was experiencing economic shifts. The 1983 coin is a standard issue, but it is the P mint mark on the reverse of the coin that makes it of particular interest to collectors. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint marked with the letter EP are typically seen as more collectible, especially since many later coinage pieces did not feature a mint mark at all. The coin itself features the same classic design George Washington on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse, but the larger date format and mint mark details make it stand out from its predecessors. Despite its large mintage, the specific example with the P mint mark and in dirty condition is still valuable to collectors who specialize in 1980s U.S. coinage. The obverse design of the 1983 Washington quarter features George Washington's portrait, facing left. The reverse side is graced with an eagle, standing on a branch wings slightly spread. The P mint mark appears just beneath the eagle, signifying that this coin was minted in Philadelphia. The large date design is easy to recognize when compared to other years, as the numerals for 1983 are larger and more prominent than those found on quarters from other years. This design choice makes it easier to identify the coin in the marketplace. The total mintage of the 1983 Washington quarter was in the tens of millions, which means it was a very common coin in circulation. However, the dirty condition of this particular coin reduces its overall value compared to higher quality examples. Despite this, there's still strong interest from collectors who value any coin from the 1980s, especially those in good condition or with distinctive features. For most 1983 Washington quarters in standard condition, values tend to be modest. However, for coins in dirty condition, prices typically range from $92,000, depending on the extent of the wear and the level of oxidation. Because this coin features the P mint mark, it holds slightly more value than standard coins from other mints, which increases its potential market price by about 20 for those in average condition. For those with higher collector interest, this coin could sell for as much as $100,000 in the right auction environment, especially if it is found by a collector who specializes in the 1980 series or is particularly fond of the Philadelphia minted coins. Next up, the 1985 Washington quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, which began in 1999, and the coin design continued the tradition of featuring George Washington on the obverse. The reverse of the quarter showcases a heraldic eagle, a design that has been a signature element of the quarter series since its inception. The obverse of the 1985 Washington quarter features a portrait of the first president of the United States, George Washington, facing left. The words, "Liberty and in God we trust," are inscribed along the top and bottom of the coin, while the date 1985 is positioned to the right of Washington's portrait. The mint mark D is found on the lower right of the coin, just below Washington's bust. On the reverse side, the design depicts a majestic eagle, an emblematic symbol of American strength and freedom. The words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum are inscribed around the eagle, along with the denomination quarter dollar below. The 1985 Washington quarter, especially the one with the D mint mark, was struck in Denver. It was part of a massive mintage, but the coin still commands attention due to its popularity and historical significance. The 1985 Washington quarter with the D mint mark was produced in Denver with a total mintage of approximately 561 million coins. While the mintage is relatively high, the value of this particular coin in fine condition can still be quite impressive. The higher the grade of the coin, the more its value tends to increase, but the specific condition of the coin will ultimately play a significant role in its market value. Coins in fine condition typically exhibit some wear, but the features and design elements remain visible and clear. For collectors seeking coins with minimal damage or wear, this level of quality can be a desirable option. Because the 1985 quarter is widely circulated, those in fine condition are relatively rare and more valuable compared to those in poor condition. In today's market, the 1985 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in fine condition has a value of approximately $12,000, depending on the auction, dealer, and specific market demand. While this may not seem like an astronomical value, it is worth noting that the rarity of coins in fine condition, given their widespread circulation, has increased interest in these types of quarters. Furthermore, the fact that this coin is part of the original series gives it extra appeal to collectors, especially those focused on the Washington Quarter series. Despite the relatively high mintage, these coins are important to both novice and advanced collectors, with some looking to complete their collections by securing pieces from specific years, mint marks, and grades. While the 1985 Washington Quarter is not known for specific minting errors, collectors often focus on any slight variations or inconsistencies in the coin's production. Misstrikes, double strikes, or off-center coins can command higher prices, but for the most part, the 1985 quarter is sought after for its general appeal, including historical significance, solid design, and association with Washington's legacy. Coin collectors who focus on mint marks, as well as those passionate about completing full sets, actively seek out this specific year and mint mark combination. The 1985 Washington Quarter in fine condition offers both aesthetic value and historical context, ensuring its place in the world of coin collecting. Next up, the 1974 Washington Quarter is part of the series that continued the design first introduced in 1932. While the design itself didn't change in 1974, the coin remained an important part of American currency during the post-Vietnam War era. The 1970s were a period of economic instability in the U.S., which led to changes in coinage production and circulation. However, the 1974 Washington Quarter stands out for a different reason. It is known for a minting error that has fascinated collectors. The error mint mark was created during the minting process, and it makes this coin particularly unique for collectors of Washington Quarters. The 1974 Washington Quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with a significant number produced at the Denver Mint. In total, more than 500 million 1974 Washington Quarters were minted. Despite the high mintage, the presence of minting errors and variations, particularly with the D mint mark, makes this coin highly sought after. For coins in dirty condition, collectors often focus on the rarity of the error and the mint mark. While these coins may have been exposed to excessive wear, dirt, or environmental factors, the importance of the error still drives their value. In today's auction market, a 1974 Washington Quarter with AD error mint mark in dirty condition can range in value from approximately $88,000, depending on the severity of the damage, the visibility of the damage, the visibility of the mint mark error, and the specific auction. While the value might seem modest, coins with errors or minting inconsistencies often hold a premium due to their rarity and unique characteristics. Collectors with an eye for minting anomalies or error coins will find this 1974 quarter an attractive option. The D error is significant enough to spark collector interest, and those specializing in Washington Quarters or error coins will likely bid higher than the market value to obtain such a piece. The most common error associated with the 1974 Washington Quarter is the D mint mark, where the minting process caused a variety of issues, including incorrect placement, doubling, or a lack of clarity. These types of errors make this coin more desirable for collectors, especially those focused on error coins. Although this coin may have a dirty appearance due to wear and exposure, the inherent error increases its appeal to those focused on obtaining minting anomalies. For the right collector, a 1974 Washington Quarter with AD error mint mark in dirty condition can still be an exciting and valuable find. Next up, we have the 1967 Washington Quarter dollar, featuring a large date and no mint mark. Now, the 1967 Washington Quarter is part of a series that holds a lot of historical significance. But it's important to understand why this particular coin, without a mint mark and in fine condition, is drawing such attention from collectors. Let's rewind a bit. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, these quarters became iconic representations of U.S. coinage, with Washington's profile proudly displayed on the obverse. The 1960s were a time of change, both for the United States and its coinage. The country was grappling with the social and political upheaval of the time, including the civil rights movement, the space race, and the Vietnam War. In 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver from most circulating coins, including quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel blend. This move marked the end of an era for U.S. coins, and collectors began to pay closer attention to coins minted before that change. The 1967 Washington quarter showcases the beloved design by John Flanagan. On the obverse, we see George Washington in profile, facing left with the inscription Liberty above and the year 1967 below. The reverse features an eagle perched on an olive branch, with the words A Pluribus Unum and United States of America surrounding the eagle. The design is clean, simple, and a timeless representation of America's history. Now, the large date is a subtle yet significant feature on this coin. It's part of the 1967 series, where the size of the numerals for the year was larger than previous years. This variant, while not an error coin, has drawn interest due to the larger date's distinctive look compared to the typical smaller numerals found in earlier years. The total mintage of the 1967 Washington quarter was over 1.8 billion coins, but a large majority of these coins were circulated widely and are in less than ideal condition. Finding a 1967 Washington quarter in fine condition is actually quite special, as many coins of this era suffered significant wear and tear in circulation. In today's market, this coin without a mint mark, in fine condition, typically commands a value of around $6 to $8, depending on the specific details of the coin, like the amount of wear on the design and the quality of the strike. However, if you find one in higher grades, the value can increase significantly, often reaching $266,000. A coin like this may also have a place in specialized collections focused on Washington quarters, where collectors are looking for specific years, mint marks, and design features. Though the 1967 Washington quarter is not known for significant errors, collectors are often drawn to any subtle variations. In particular, coins with off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual wear patterns can be valuable. However, in terms of market value, most collectors focus on the large date variety, and any coins in fine condition or better will continue to be highly sought after by enthusiasts. Collectors often find interest in this coin because it bridges the pre-silver and post-silver eras of U.S. coins. It's a fascinating piece for both historical and aesthetic reasons. Next up, we have a truly intriguing coin, the 1984 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and AD error mint mark in dirty condition. You might be wondering what makes this coin so special, especially in dirty condition. Well, stick with me because this coin's error and unique circumstances make it a valuable addition to any collector's portfolio. The 1984 Washington quarter is part of the post-silver era of U.S. coinage, which started in 1965 with the removal of silver from most circulating coins. By the 1980s, the U.S. Mint was producing coins that were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. During this period, U.S. coinage was widely used in daily transactions, and coins like the 1984 Washington quarter were not particularly notable in the eyes of most collectors at the time. It wasn't until the rise of numismatics in the 1990s and early 2000s that collectors began closely examining these coins for errors and unique characteristics. The 1984 Washington quarter retains the classic John Flanagan design. George Washington's profile remains on the obverse, with Liberty above and In God We Trust inscribed to the left of Washington's image. On the reverse, we find an eagle perched on an olive branch with United States of America and a Pluribus Unum surrounding the eagle. What makes this coin stand out, however, is the large date feature. In 1984, the U.S. Mint struck quarters with both large and small date varieties. The large date variety is characterized by numerals that are significantly larger than those found on other years. This was a part of a broader design shift within the U.S. Mint during the 1980s, which became important for collectors looking for specific characteristics. Approximately 1.1 billion 1984 Washington quarters were minted, making this coin relatively common in circulation. In its standard condition, this coin has little value beyond its face value, just 25 cents. However, when a coin like this features AD error mint mark, it's a different story. Now, let's talk about the D error mint mark. Some 1984 Washington quarters were mistakenly struck with an incorrect mint mark, or the mint mark might appear doubled or misaligned. This error has caught the attention of collectors as it presents a rare and unusual variation. In dirty condition, the value of a 1984 Washington quarter with AD error mint mark is somewhat reduced from its potential value in better condition. However, even in this state, it can still fetch around $278,000 depending on the severity of the error and the amount of dirt or corrosion. If this coin were to be cleaned and graded in a higher condition, its value could easily jump to $300,000 or more. Error coins like this one are highly prized by collectors, particularly those who specialize in Washington quarters or error coins. The D error mint mark is a key feature for those who focus on the intricacies of U.S. minting processes and mistakes. Collectors are often willing to pay a premium for these variations, especially as they become harder to find over time. The dirtiness of the coin doesn't entirely deter collectors, as some prefer to keep the coin in its original state to preserve its history and authenticity. However, if cleaned properly, the coin can be restored to a more presentable state and see its value rise. Next up, the 1991 Washington quarter dollar with AD mint mark in good condition is a fascinating example of modern U.S. coinage. To understand its value, let's first look at the historical context, design features, and market trends that make this particular coin stand out. The Washington quarter dollar was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The coin has seen several design updates over the years, but the general design featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse has remained consistent. The 1991 Washington quarter was part of the series of coins that continued the tradition set in the early 20th century. The mint mark on this coin is D, which indicates it was minted at the Denver Mint. In 1991, the U.S. Mint produced over 700 million quarters, with the Denver Mint producing a significant portion of that total. However, despite the large mintage, the specific condition of the coin can dramatically affect its value. The design of the 1991 Washington quarter remains largely unchanged from earlier quarters. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, with the inscription "Liberty above and in God, we trust" below. The reverse side displays a heraldic eagle with a shield and the inscription "United States of America" along the top, with quarter dollar at the bottom. This coin's design is a great representation of U.S. history and is highly collectible because of its association with George Washington, a symbol of national pride. The condition of a coin plays a significant role in determining its value. A coin in good condition typically shows signs of wear, but is still recognizable, with some detail remaining on the design elements. The value of this coin in good condition can range from $104,000s depending on its exact quality, with coins that are more well-preserved potentially fetching higher prices. While the 1991 Washington quarter is not as rare as some other coins, the D mint mark in specific conditions, like a particularly good strike or minimal wear, can make it more desirable to collectors. These types of coins are especially popular among collectors who are focused on acquiring every mint-marked version of a given year. There are no significant errors associated with the 1991 Washington quarter in general. However, there may be slight variations or unique features that add to a coin's rarity, such as misstrikes or unusual toning. These characteristics could make the coin more valuable to error coin collectors. The collector interest in the 1991 Washington quarter, especially in good condition, stems from its place in U.S. numismatic history. Coins from the late 20th century, though not as rare as older coins, are highly sought after due to their relatively recent circulation and historical context. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and no mint mark is another coin that holds significant collector interest, especially when it comes to its lamination damage condition. Let's take a deeper look at the historical context, the design features, and why this coin, despite its damage, can still hold substantial value in the market. The 1966 Washington quarter is part of the post-World War II era, during which the U.S. Mint produced millions of coins to meet the increasing demand for currency. The quarter had undergone design changes in previous decades, but the Washington portrait remained a strong symbol of national unity and pride. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a significant change by altering the composition of the quarter from silver to a copper, nickel-clad composition. By 1966, the Washington quarter continued to be minted using this new material. There were no mint marks for quarters produced in 1965, 1966, or 1967, as the U.S. Mint opted to remove mint marks from these coins in an effort to increase production speed. The large date variety of the 1966 quarter is often favored by collectors due to the larger numbers on the obverse, making it easily distinguishable from other coins in the series. Like all Washington quarters, the 1966 version features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse. The reverse displays a heraldic eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom. The large date variety is a particularly interesting feature, as it showcases larger digits compared to the smaller date used in some other years. Now, when we talk about the coin's lamination damage, we are referring to an error that occurs during the minting process, where layers of metal do not properly bond. This can create visible flaws such as peeling or rough patches on the coin's surface. While lamination damage is not ideal for collectors seeking perfect coins, it can still enhance the coin's value due to its rarity and unique characteristics. In general, a 1966 Washington quarter in lamination damage condition would be valued at around $92,000, depending on the severity of the damage and how much of the original design is still visible. Coins with unusual and significant flaws tend to attract collectors of error coins, and even damaged coins can still fetch a good price if the error is unique or noticeable. The lamination error on this coin is a rare find, and that rarity can make it highly sought after among collectors. Despite the damage, collectors who specialize in error coins will often pay a premium for such examples. In fact, a coin in lamination damage condition can sometimes sell for more than a coin in pristine condition, as the error adds to its uniqueness. This coin's collector interest is also enhanced by its status as part of the Washington Quarter series, which has long been popular among U.S. coin collectors. The historical context of the 1960s, with the transition away from silver to clad coins, adds an additional layer of significance for collectors interested in the post-silver era of American numismatics. Next up, the 1977 Washington Quarter, with its large date variety, marks an interesting chapter in the evolution of this iconic coin. The Washington Quarter was designed by John Flanagan, with a profile of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle in flight on the reverse. Over time, the coin became a symbol of American strength and resilience, largely due to its enduring presence in circulation. The 1977 issue is no exception, but its large date variety is particularly noteworthy because it stands out from other Washington quarters of the same period. The key historical context for the 1977 Washington Quarter, particularly the large date variety, lies in the transition of coinage design and the coin production process during the late 20th century. The Mint began experimenting with different design and minting techniques to increase production efficiency, and this resulted in subtle variations in the size of the numerals on the coin's date. These variations became apparent on coins from certain years, including the 1977 quarter. The obverse of the 1977 Washington Quarter showcases George Washington's portrait facing left with the words "Liberty above" and the motto, "In God we trust," to the right. The date 1977 is displayed at the bottom, with the mint mark, if applicable, placed under the date. Since this particular coin we are discussing does not have a mint mark, it indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins without mint marks are typically produced. The distinguishing feature of the 1977 Washington Quarter is its large date. While most Washington quarters from this era have smaller, more condensed digits for the year, the 1977 variety features larger numbers that are spaced out more evenly. These large digits set the coin apart from others in the series, making it highly sought after by collectors. The mintage of the 1977 Washington Quarter was quite substantial, with over 850 million coins struck in total. However, the specific large date variety is less common in circulation, and finding one in decent or high-grade condition is increasingly rare. Most of the 1977 quarters that remain in circulation show signs of wear, and those that are uncirculated or in better condition can command a premium price. In circulated condition, the 1977 large-date Washington quarter typically commands a modest price. However, when found in high-grade conditions such as mint-state Pennies or uncirculated grades, the value can increase significantly. For example, the market value for a high-grade example of the 1977 large-date quarter can range anywhere from $50,000 to $1,000, depending on the specific grading and demand at the time of sale. For collectors, this coin is considered a key date in the Washington Quarter series, especially due to the large date variety, the scarcity of these coins in mint state, and the interest from collectors seeking to complete their Washington Quarter collections has driven prices higher in recent years. Interestingly, some 1977 Washington Quarters may show signs of die errors or other minting anomalies, which can drive up their value. Common errors in the 1977 quarters include double dies, all-of-center strikes, and die cracks, all of which make these coins even more valuable to collectors. However, the specific large date variety is not considered an error itself, but rather a distinguishing feature of the coin. The 1977 Washington Quarter with a large date, especially in circulated condition, is a popular coin among collectors due to its distinctive design features and historical context. While it is not an extremely rare coin, its uniqueness and connection to the history of the Washington Quarter series make it an important piece for any collector looking to build a complete set of quarters from the 20th century.